just to ask for a campaign with the confidence rising. I told WDF don't switch, good times are coming on infinity diving. Fan cams, reactions, watch alongs to the pride of London thriving. The Eagles of South they flying. Keep your eyes on us, we ain't hiding.
Good evening. And you know what? I've just realized I haven't even checked if my audio's all right. Give us a thumbs up if you can hear us okay. Let me change it. Mic. There we go. And the camera is 480p. There we go. So it has been a crazy day. But big up everyone. Obviously, this is obviously a day late. Yesterday, we were out. We were out yesterday. The man Shakushina, who you might see in the comment section from time to time, he's flown over from Texas, so we all went down to go watch the Manchester Derby and play some pool, some darts, some table tennis, and that. So yeah, we just a good time and whatnot. Hence, we didn't have the match reaction yesterday, but we're having it now. I don't think I've got much to say, so I'll definitely be dropping the link very early on. Yeah. Well. You know what? We came into this game with a lot of optimism, a lot of excitement. Obviously, Glasner's worked wonders. But obviously, we kept on repeating, it's just Burnley. It's just Burnley. It's just Burnley. You know what I mean? So it was one of those ones. And we always knew that Spurs was going to be kind of like the litmus test as to like, where are we as a team and how we approach games. And you know what? I've got to give Spurs a lot of credit, give them a lot of credit, because as much as Glasner done his homework, Spurs did their homework too. We could not press them. It was crazy. Like, it was almost as if they knew, and then we just had to kind of drop back into our banks, you know, and then try and hit them on the break. They made sure Udogie was playing almost like a midfielder, so similar to like this new sort of modern day inverted fullback sort of thing, you know. And because of that, like it meant that we couldn't really push up the field as we wanted because they had an extra man in midfield. So, you know, absolutely fair play to him, you know. Yo, big up, mate.
Yeah, what are you saying? You good?
I'm good. Yourself?
Just one of those days at the office. We scored a goal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That's the only positive you can take from it. But look, let's be real. Rome weren't built in a day. That was probably the hardest fixture pause that we could probably have straight after the Burnley game. So
yeah,
part of me was like, if only we could have held on. And part of me was thinking, you know, there are more important games, most notably Saturday coming up, that need to be won. So, you know, look, it's kind of refreshing that a lot of people looking at it and going, what more could we have done? No Elise, Eze's only just back, and yes, he scored a banger, but let's be clear, our squad is poor. Now, very few of them put a foot wrong on Saturday, and obviously you, Dan, and JC were there, but you got to remember there's a level between Tottenham squad and our squad, and people need to stop thinking that because Eze's back, all of a sudden it's going to be like it was under Vieira in his first season. There's still an awful lot of work that needs to be done to give Glasner the kind of players that suit his style of football. Now, look, a lot of people were rightly pointing out, oh, it's Roy Ball, and, you know, it's the same under Roy and this, that, the other. What do you expect? Like, realistically, look at our record at Tottenham away. It is horrible. It is horrible, horrible, horrible.
Yeah,
and we've had better managers go up there and get slapped. So for me, I was just thinking, do you know what? Take the L and run, because there's games coming up that need to be, you know, a major priority. Like the Luton game on Saturday, for me, is a game that is more important. And if we lose that game, that's when you think, hold on a second. Maybe it wasn't just the manager. Maybe it's the players. Now, obviously, that could change depending on the result. But some people were quick to point out, you know, we went up to Tottenham and got slapped 3-1. We were winning the game. All right, granted, Tottenham hit the post, and on another day they could have torn us apart. But for the most part, it was very, very even. They were poor and we were poor. Neither side really looked like they wanted to win that game. It's just Tottenham had the quality towards the end of the game
that we
to put the
lacked.
game to bed.
Yeah.
Now, Rich, shock horror. Timo Werner, of all people, scores his first goal against who? Against who? Do I really need to run the promo right now? Because I may have to, you know. Because when I seen his name pop up on my live score, I was just like, death, taxes, and god-awful strikers scoring against Charity Professional Football Club. Now, I shouldn't be shocked. I shouldn't let it affect me as it does, but I was just saying to myself, it's not even a good striker. It's Timo Werner. It's the German Alexander Sorloth. Oh, don't even annoy me. But yeah, I mean, look, it hurts to lose in that fashion, but we've gone up there before and got absolutely smoked without so much as even a goal to show for it. So, you know, had you said to me 3-1 before the game, I'd have said take it and run, because there's been worse performances up there where we've been absolutely smoked.
Yeah.
So it's never nice to lose. But let's be real. The context of our next 4 or 5 games, they for me are more of a priority. They're the ones that I'm looking at thinking, right, we need to be minimum taking a point from 2 or 3 of these games. 3 points ideally on Saturday. Because for me, that game at Kenilworth Road against Luton, and I know you guys will do a preview on it, but that game at Luton was just like, yeah, that's where it really turned. Because it's one thing to lose to the better team, and that was the case. But Luton Town, no disrespect, because they thoroughly deserved to beat us, because the minute Jeff Schlupp scored, I said, oh boy, he scored. Yeah, we ain't winning this. When he scores, we don't win. Minus Burnley, but let's be fair, Burnley are rubbish. You just look at it and you say to yourself, there needs to be a clear plan in the summer, because ideally we need to sell one of our key players. And I know some people don't want that to happen, but let's be real. We're not a club that can just pull money out of a hat. We have to sell a high asset. And if you had to push me which one to sell, I'm thinking either Anderson or Eze. Ideally Anderson, but if Eze were to go, that would yield a massive profit. So, you know, if need be, sell both and just spend the money from those sales on the squad. Because let's be clear, our squad depth is shocking. And that's no reflection on the players that were on the bench or were on the pitch. It's just shocking that for years and years and years, as a football club, we are rewarding players that don't deserve new contracts with contracts. You're thinking, huh? Really? This guy? You know. But look, it's one of those things that doesn't matter what happens. You just want to see something new happen. So ideally, yeah, just change it up a bit.
Yeah, I mean, perfect timing, JC and Chairman. JC rolling up like he's looking like Tintin right now.
Yeah, look at that. Defying gravity and everything.
You know what's crazy? There's 2 things that's annoyed me with Saturday still till now. Number one, we're going to talk on it. Joachim Anderson. I've actually, we saw it in the ground. We all went mad at the mistake. I've never seen Chairman go so mad, by the way. Like, he was fuming. You know what I mean? And I went and thought, no, let me go and watch this back properly. And I couldn't believe what he did. Johnston's made the angle for him as well, you know? Give me a pass back.
And he got megged as well.
And the problem is, going back to obviously the Lerma point, Lerma couldn't put a tackle in because he was booked.
Because the thing is, if I know it's all hindsight, yeah, but if Lerma didn't have a booking, he's taking him out.
He's cleaning him out.
And the booking was so needless as well.
Yeah, it was silly. The second aspect, and I'm saying it now, I don't think this guy will see another game of football unless there's injury.
Will Hughes.
Because Glasner's obviously come out and said it's good to have experience back. So he thought, okay, an experienced player can come on and help us see this game out. My gosh, was he stinky. He was shocking. Now, granted, I don't think any of us have played well, you know, but our shape was non-existent when he came on. Eddie? we need a conversation about Eddie as well, But let's start off with Anderson because he's at fault for 2 of those goals. Chairman, since you obviously nearly tore your hair out on
Ain't got no
Saturday
hair
at the
left.
ground. Joachim Anderson. How bad was his performance,
Well,
especially last?
I think
20.
what I was going to say was you took the words out of my mouth. Really, I thought there was three problems on Saturday, of which Joachim Anderson's form is one of them. Our fitness is another one,
Massively, yeah.
and our substitutions is another one. That is one we can fix, which is obviously the fitness. There's one we can't fix, which is the substitutions, because when we make subs, we turn into a championship team in 5 minutes, don't we? But Joachim Anderson, I mean, if you go back through the whole season, he's made a lot of mistakes this year, isn't he?
Mm.
And the thing about it is, he's not doing what he used to do, was just play the safe option, wasn't he? Pass back to the keeper, put out for a throw in, turn and just get it down the line. He's trying to be fancy now, and he thinks he's Beckenbauer all of a sudden, and he's losing the ball, slipping over, and he's letting him finish. This is not the first time it's happened, but his all-round game was okay, but maybe the third goal was a foul, but the referee didn't give it. But why is he not? Why is he doing what he's doing on the halfway line as a centre half? He should be in his right position. So you either get rid of the ball, we don't start doing fancy tricks and flicks. It's not good, is it?
No, not at all. Going back to that foul, the reason why I think it wasn't given is because Ward pushes Son.
Yeah, definitely.
Into Anderson, so that's probably why it wasn't given. If Ward doesn't push Son, I don't think the foul occurs. But you're right, there was no need to Cruyff turn there.
No, I mean it was a whole recipe of disaster because he tried to do something stupid, and then did you notice Richards marking Son? Now Son took 2 steps in front of him, and all of a sudden he was gone, and Richards was just standing there watching him, and then he realised, and he ain't going to catch Son up, is he? But it was just a comedy of errors. But the only thing he can say probably is that by that point we probably lost the game anyway. It was already 2-1 down, weren't we?
Yeah, no, exactly that. JC, let's talk about our fitness.
We ain't got none.
Now I'm glad that Glasner's he's realised that 19 goals now from the 75th minute is a damning stat. Now, add that to the fact that we've got Luton this week who scored quite a few late goals themselves. We might need to be 3-0 up before the 75th minute this weekend.
Well, I mean, to be fair, fitness has been an issue for a very long time at Palace because remember, even though we did have a good season, remember that Vieira year? The amount of times that we were ahead 3 points in the bag and then we lose it to a draw and then we get a draw to a loss. How many of those goals were late on? So this has been a very reoccurring issue because under Vieira, we probably would have got easy top 10 if we held on to those points with better fitness. But that just seems to not be the case when it came to just us in general. So I feel like Palace in general just need to improve our fitness because even before Vieira, even Roy's first time, he would always play the first team throughout the whole 90 and never make any subs anyway. So these guys are playing through that Christmas period of 2 games a week and they're playing 90 minutes a week. It's just not feasible at all. And especially not feasible when we ain't got no fitness. So I'm happy that Glasner is going to address that and he's addressed it publicly as well. But I think it's shocking that it's been maybe our last 3 managers, and I'm only including Roy there once. Like none of our managers recently seem to have taken any care or any want to preserve our players. It's always play the best team possible and hope for the best. Yeah. Because come out that Roy got the medical staff's opinions but just ignored it anyway. I think Vieira done the same thing. But I think Roberts was playing so much crap that he had good on the bench anyway, so that's how he sort of got away with it. And I think the only manager that probably got away with it is probably Allardyce, really. He's probably the only one that I can remember resting players because he needed to. So it's been just the club in general has been managed really poorly. Like, we have stayed up, and looking back on it, it looks like we just pulled off miracle after miracle. But if we keep pulling off miracles, we're going to run out of luck and we're going to go down. So Glasner's identified probably our biggest issue, which is fitness, and I hope that in the coming weeks that he can actually, I don't know, maybe give him a new playstyle plus on gloves. Give him that factory playstyle. Like, we need it.
100%. Last of the three things, and I thought I'll give this to Nate because Nate might like a little bit of a rant. And then we'll come to the comment section. Nate, Will Hughes.
Will Hines.
Will Hughes, the anonymous man, yeah? The guy that you didn't even know was on the pitch. Yeah.
Tyrion.
I see why Watford were happy to take money off us for him. I see that. I see why now. You see how they weren't too sorry to see him go. As I said, there's players here that should have been moved on time ago. And for me, I think he's one of them. He's been good in very, very limited spells, but our recruitment still needs a bit of a look at. But look, it is what it is. We have to wait until the summer to get a lot of these problems hopefully addressed, but it won't happen. It is what it is, man. We move on to the next one.
No, absolutely. Let's go through these comments. Big up to Aaron. Go subscribe to Child Chats. Also, a massive Doncaster Rover fan. He's doing some amazing content there as well. So make sure you go and give him a shout out. Chairman said evening before he was here, but he's here. So evening, Chairman. Big up Monty, he says evening. Big up Hazard. Took the lead at Tottenham for the first time since 1997 in the Prem. Small wins. Small wins.
You'll never sing that.
Yeah. Big up Tim. Good to see everyone. Good to see you too. Big up to Rexy. So my problem is we have spent 70 million this year. With FFP, we have to make sure we don't make a 30 million loss plus other problems. Would we even be spending big money in the summer? Now that's the big question. Yeah, it's going to require big. There possibly will be one big sale. That at least one, and that we're all expecting it. So that will obviously keep us balanced. But this is the model that we've decided to go for. Like we have to somehow finesse teams how Brighton do. How they got 115 for Caicedo is crazy because he's poor. So this is what we need to do with our better talents.
The thing is, we're going to have to be wheeler dealing players for a good few years before we can make our way up the table enough to actually hang on to a few of them.
Yeah.
And there's going to be luck involved as well. So it's not a properly proven and tested model. There has to be luck. And to be fair, I wouldn't say it's been lucky so far, but I don't think Dougie's missed very often. So I think keeping him is going to be a huge thing. Keeping Man United away.
Yeah, 100%. Because what Dougie's found us for, the money he's found them for, has been incredible, to be fair. Tim said, I doubt we run into FFP problems in the summer. Our fiscal year will reset on June 30th, and I would expect our loss for the last fiscal year was manageable. Can you put it? This terminology is crazy.
I can't believe we're anywhere near FFP wheels here. We're not bought any players, have we?
I'd rather saw Eze than Elise.
I agree.
Yeah, I think everyone agrees. But you know what? Also, I think
I'd say
because of his injury concerns, because of Elise's injury concerns, I think Elise will stay another year.
I think if you had to sell one of the three out of Eze, Elise, and Mark, I'd get rid of Eze.
Yeah,
I'll get rid of Mark. I think if you get 70 million for a centre half, I'm sure you can find a half decent centre half for 20, 30 million. They've still got 40 million pound in the bank, and still got Eze and Elise.
Yeah, no, but let's say Mark goes to the Euros and has a great Euros, and he's worth 100.
Well, then sell him, yeah, absolutely. Even more sell him.
Then keep him for the year, so he's worth that 100.
Well,
I'm only saying Eze more so for the age, because Eze,
Eze's in his prime now.
I don't. To be fair, we won't sell anyone before the Euros.
However, that comes with a caveat, though. If Mark doesn't sign a new contract, he's got to go this window.
Absolutely.
because he's only
Absolutely.
got 2 years left on his deal. So the second this year is over, he's only got a year left on his deal. We ain't getting no money for him.
100%.
So unless he signs a new deal, he's got to go this year.
Good point. We lost to Luton because Decore got injured and we weren't able to deal with the gap in the game. Big point.
Which is a very good point because we lost to Eze that game as well, didn't we? In
Yeah.
the first 5 minutes in the second half, didn't we? And another Anderson mistake, wasn't it, for their winning goal? Remember?
Yeah.
He
Should have
should have
cleared
kicked the
it.
ball out and he didn't. Yeah. Arsenal just scored, by the way. 4
Shock.
minutes.
Who was it?
They've had 2 kicked off the line and hit the crossbar, and it's only 4 minutes old. And now they just scored.
Who scored?
It looks like Odegaard.
I just took that guy on my team. I told you, Rich.
You did mention it yesterday, but who did you replace it for?
Foden.
Yes, that's not bad, isn't it?
Yeah, but it goes. Oh, it goes in after this week, so I'm good. I got a point.
No, he wasn't Foden. He scored 2 goals.
Yeah.
Mind you, so Arsenal probably scored 10 today.
Luton was definitely a turning point for the season. Didn't play great in the first half against Luton either, but was still in a fully footballed win. Yep. Big up everyone. Hopefully have a better luck against Luton. We have to win that game. Big up Dan and the Toffee Bluecast crew. Our teams will send us grey.
Big time.
Yes, they will.
Chairman's already there.
This is it.
Oh, cheers, mate.
Now, this is obviously the biggest talking point. And this was a big talking point when we met up yesterday. If Anderson had just got rid of that ball, I think we would have held on for at least a point.
I said it in my outro in Morley's. I don't want to sound like Michael Owen, but if we don't give away the ball there, I don't think we lose. I think we at least get a point.
Yeah.
Because at that point in the game, we was actually looking for a second. And Spurs were getting a bit flustered. They didn't really know what to do with us.
Yeah.
But the second goal went in. The second and first goal went in, the tails went up and they just walked all over us.
And obviously that's the first time I've been to that stadium. The noise was deafening.
Yeah, to be fair, Rich, they were rubbish before that, weren't they?
They were. But the moment they scored, it was like, bro, that is loud.
Yeah.
And then you could just set after that, oh my gosh. It was like, this is a survival mode.
I think that's a point as well. Eze was not fit in that game. No way.
No, he wasn't. Definitely wasn't. He was poor in the first half. Luton will be a harder challenge than Burnley was. Yep. We have to deal with those crosses. I think the only thing that's going to help us is that they play a similar formation to we do. So
Adebayo's going to run all over Richards.
Is he back? I thought his hamstring's done.
Oh, is he gone?
I think he did his hamstring.
But then again, though, Morris is still good.
Yeah, he's a nuisance, isn't he?
You got to be honest. You got to be honest and say that Chelsea only beat us 3-1, but only 2 goals in injury time, and Tottenham beat us 3-1, 2 goals in the last 5 minutes. So I think we'll more than hold our own against them. I don't think we'll score that many, Luton. The problem is, can we score?
Good point. With their goalkeeper as well, he's crazy.
Yeah, he's very good. Yeah.
Part of it's fitness, part of it's having a better bench. This is the 5-sub era. Teams need to be able to bring quality on at the end. Yep, spot on.
And especially that new Champions League things, top 6 teams are going to get even bigger now.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. How do you think we'll do against Luton? Also, why does every management system plan use instead of Ozil? The first question, I think it's just as long as we don't stop them from crossing the ball, I think we'll be fine. Their strength is crossing the ball in. No idea for the second question, by the way. And we're calling it from now, whether it's to the end of the season or the beginning of next. Imre is going to be the backup to Munoz. Or I'm calling it anyway. Because in that system,
I think after this year, he's got to be.
Yeah.
Scoring in 1 minute as a right back today.
But you know what's crazy? Let's just hypothetically say, Munoz goes left wing back.
No, he's too right-footed.
He is, but you know Glasner likes his fullbacks bombing on, and Mitchell's trying. I give him that. He is trying. He just doesn't have the quality up there.
No. Yeah,
But you've seen it with. Like, I know it's a different kettle of fish, but you saw it with Rodney against Oxford. When he was at left back, he was stinking the place out. The second that him and Klein swapped, He was one of our best players.
They do need to work on both feet. Son needs to retire because he's annoying.
That's what I want a left back.
Oh yeah,
He was suiting the system, wasn't he?
he will suit the system really well. You know, and big up to Patrick as well. Munoz looked like he was Trent playing defense against Vinny Jr. on Saturday. I hope that was just a one-off. I wouldn't say, you know what? I think it's harsh on Munoz because we're expecting him to do both sides of the game. And the thing is, on his side, both Werner and Udogie were bombing forward as well. You know, so that's the reason why Ward had to keep tucking over because they bombed on both of them. Udogie was like a centre forward at one stage in the first half. You know, I think he should have had a shot and he just kind of just dilly-dallied with it. To be fair, all right, I got the graphics up because I set up late. I've got my laptop. Steph turned up like 7:30, so I was like, all right, get started. Let's do our player ratings and then we'll open up the phone lines. Oh, by the way, we didn't say Eze's free kick was cold. It was cold, and it was scenes in the way, and
it was nice to see the free kick routine because we actually had a wall next to their
next to the wall, yeah,
covering Vicario's line of sight, and then Eze's body shape was going near post, and you see Vicario took a little step to the near post just as Eze was about to kick it. And all our guys ducked out of it and he just kicked it exactly where they were. So it was a nice free kick, and it's nice to see we've actually got a routine going rather than hit and hope for the best.
No, absolutely. Right. Player ratings. I'll start. Johnston. I'll give him a 6 because in my head most of the players are getting 5s or less. So I'll give Johnson a 6. That 1v1 versus Werner was quality. And I guess the only goal you can question would have been Romero's header. I think he stepped out like about 2-3 yards. So he should have stepped out and cleared it all, or he should have stayed on his line.
I think that's harsh. I don't think that you can ask Johnstone to come outside of his 6-yard box if the ball's getting played in like that.
No, exactly that. But
I would blame that one on. I wouldn't blame it on Ward, but I think there's a lot of errors going on there. I think Ward could have done a little bit better.
There was a few errors leading to that goal. But what I'm saying is that because Johnston stepped forward, he took 2 steps forward. So when he dived, he couldn't reach it. Had he not taken those 2 steps forward and stayed on his line, I think he would have saved it. But these are like we're clutching at straws here. Nate Munoz.
Munoz. I won't lie, I've only watched the highlights and I didn't really show an awful lot from him. So I can't go any higher than a 4 or a 5 because you guys were there, so you probably have a better idea of how he played. But from the looks of it, you know, this is one of the flatter games from the defense. So I'll just say a 4.
Yeah. Who's next? Wardy. JC, Wardy.
I mean, at the right centre back role, I don't think he does too bad, but I think I don't even know if it's his fault. 'Cause I think a real centre back would head that away from Romero, but we conceded 3 goals in 10 minutes, so it's got to be a 4 as well.
Again. Chairman Anderson.
I'll say 2-0 Arsenal, own goal by Sheffield United. Anderson, I have to give him a 4 because the two.
What?
Right, the
That's
first,
high.
Lower.
do you think so?
Lower.
I think to be fair, up until he made the mistake, he was doing fine, wasn't he?
Yeah, but how bad was that mistake?
It was, yeah. It cost us the
Yeah,
game.
there you go.
But,
3.
okay, right. Up until the mistake, I'll give him a 5, and after the mistake, I'll give him a 2. Because
So 3 then.
I agree with Rich. I honestly believe that before they scored their first goal, they were looking. Their passing was all over the place. They were looking flustered. They were getting frustrated, and that just
We
put their tails
defended
up.
very well for 70 minutes.
So
Yeah,
okay,
but
I'll
that
split
10
the difference.
minutes was so bad.
I'll split the difference and give him a 3 then.
Cool. Chris Richards. He was the better of the 3 defensive players. So Wardy got a 4. So I'll give him a 5. because no one's getting higher than that apart from SJ. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't think it. Yeah, apart from SJ, I don't think it. For me personally, so I'll give Richards a 5. Nate, oh yeah, I know you saw the highlights, but no, Mitchell.
Mitchell, same as Munoz, really. Again,
3-0.
really wasn't a day for the defense. So
It's 3-0 after
I'd say
15
4.
minutes.
Yeah, 14 minutes, 3-0. That's right. Yeah.
Aye, Sheffield United are absolute doo-doo.
Do you reckon Will Hughes will get in their team?
Maybe we should send Hughes on loan to Sheffield United. But Rich, to get back on track, I'm going to say a 4 for Mitchell, same as Munoz.
Yeah.
Nothing doing really.
Why did I only put 3-0 for this game in my prediction? This
I
is
put
gonna be
5.
10. This is gonna be 10.
I put 5. I think I'm good.
Oh my. JC. Who did we have next? Midfield,
What?
Lerma.
What? Lerma. A 5. Done what Lerma done, innit? Just screen the back line, passed out when he needed to. But that yellow card, man, there's no need for it.
You're so stupid, wasn't it?
I mean, to
Yeah.
be fair, sorry, George, JC, but do you remember why he did it though? Because remember,
Yeah, because Mitchell went down.
that's right, and the referee didn't give the foul, even though he was fouled, and he got so far he just flattened the guy in front of him, didn't
literally flattened.
he? To stop the play, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't blame him for that, but I think it's a bit stupid though.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Because the thing is when the ball went out of play anyway, Mitchell looked around, thought he got a free kick, and popped up straight away. So you know, what do you do then? Lerma's just gotten a booking for no reason whatsoever.
Boy. Chairman Wharton.
Honestly, I don't know why he was taken off. I thought he was playing pretty decently, and it proved that when he did go off, we seemed to lose in midfield. I'm going to give him a 6 for me. I thought he played pretty well.
I wonder if these changes are to do with keeping players fresh, because obviously we don't make subs.
What Glasner did say that apparently halfway through the first half, Ayew got a knock on his hip, didn't he?
Yeah.
And when they came in at half time, he said he's only got about 10 minutes left in him, which is why he was taken off. I
think that's another substitute that just not cost us, but it didn't help.
No, definitely not now.
I think every sub made us weaker.
Yeah, massively.
Yeah, I did. And especially with the França one, because he came on thinking he's playing left wing, and then 2 minutes later he's on the right.
Exactly, yeah. It doesn't help, does it?
Right, so we've done the 2 centre mids. So the front 3. Who was on the left hand side? It was Ed, wasn't he? Oh my gosh. 5, and that's just because his first half was shocking. His first half, I would have said. So is 5 even being generous? Because his first half was maybe a 2, but then his run led to the free kick, which led to him scoring the goal.
Yeah, I think their midfielder got a yellow for the foul as well.
If I was to do it, I hate half marks, but it's like a 4.5. I hate half marks.
Maybe give him a 5 for the way he was hugging all the Tottenham players at the end.
All right, you can have a 5.
Yeah,
you can have a 5. Nate, JP.
Oh, Jesus.
Was he there? I must have missed him playing because I don't recall seeing him. But to be fair, it's not just him. Our striking options are just dreadful, so I can't really be too harsh. But look, I've been consistent. It's boy, even going above 4 would be wild. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say 3. He was non-existent, and I think I'm being generous saying 3. But yeah, not his best game. And I know I'm probably going to be going to be on Sean's list now for attacking his star boy. But yeah, he was not good. He was not good.
Yeah, it wasn't his best. And where he thinks he can be outrunning Van de Ven, like, is he all right? Van de Ben's one of the quickest centre backs in the league.
No,
I
he's
know.
the quickest player in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, Van de
A
Ven
striker
is-
with
he
no
is
pace
good.
trying to outrun a defender with pace.
Yeah, Van de Ven's quality. He's so good. We're actually watching him play. Like he makes Romero look basic. He really does.
Well, yeah, he
Um,
could burn Bayer against Burnley, but he can't burn Van de Ven.
JC, aye.
I mean, the set pieces are shocking. I think I have to say that before I say anything else, because every single thing he done.
True. Yeah, very true.
I mean, yeah, I use set pieces are shocking, and I don't know why. If Eze's on the pitch, why is he taking them? Because he hit the
Yeah,
first man
he hit the
every
first
time
man.
without fail. I remember when he was taking a free kick, I was like, Rich, first man. You're like, nah, he'll do it this time. I was like, nah, first man.
All them corners we had, we couldn't get over the first man.
And the thing is that free kick that I said to you, he didn't even get it above the first man's knee,
No,
let alone
that's
his
right.
head.
Shocking. It was
But
so bad.
but he was holding the ball, he was tackling, he was tracking back. I think he got the first shot of the game off as well. Made a few chances. Like until he came off, he gave it everything as I always does. So I give him a 6. I think he's all right.
Yeah.
I think we definitely missed him the most when he came off.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. The subs. Oh boy. Chairman, Franca.
I'm going to give him a 4, and that's really not his fault because he just came on and we just then started conceding goals. He never really got in the game. He started off on one wing, then he went on the other wing. He didn't know what he was doing, and it just obviously at that point we were going further and further back. He was our outlet, but he just he just he just didn't get in the game, did he? But just a 4 for me.
Okay.
Hughes and Edward, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm not taking now. Yeah, no. Eddie's getting a 2. Because what did Mateta get? A 3 or 4?
4, I think he gave him 3 or 4. I can't remember.
Eddie's getting a 2. If you're gonna pass a through ball to Mateta, don't hit the back of his heel or the back of his head or whatever it may be. Can you hold the ball up, please? Can you not lose it in silly places? He was terrible.
He really was, yeah.
He was so bad. He's getting a 2. And it's only a 2 because I think there's one player that deserves less than him. JC.
Who am I talking about?
Will Hughes.
Will Hughes.
Will Hines, great name.
If I speak, I'm in big trouble. That's what I'll say.
He was poor.
It really was, wasn't he? It's like he's running around after the ball. He's not actually trying to intercept it. He's just sort of like running around after him as opposed to
just like that.
The thing is,
I know, yeah, exactly.
I'm sure he came on and instantly took someone out, and I'm like, how did he not get a yellow for that? He's literally just come on the pitch. He's just taken someone out, and he's done it multiple times, and every single time was in a stupid place.
Yeah.
I'm deliberating here. Is it a 0 or a 1?
He never gave up any of the goals, did he? Not one to try, mind you, but
actually, you know what? Sorry. He can go to a 0 because I'm dropping Eddie to a 1. He fell asleep on the throw-in.
that's right. Yeah, true.
Yeah, Eddie was on a 1. He's getting a 1. I completely forgot about that. As it goes 4-0. 4-0 Arsenal.
On my stream, it's still 3-0.
Yeah, I would say a 0 then. Will Hughes, I cannot remember a single good thing you did apart from when you walked off the pitch at full time. There you go.
I've got to say, why is he not bringing up Ozo on? I mean, what can he do worse than Hughes? Seriously.
Why no Ozo? Why no Ahamada?
Kai Havertz. Yep, 4-0. Ah, boy. Well, we've had our say. Let's bring us some more people to just willow in our defeat. Hello, Patrick. How you doing?
You're talking about Will Hughes. He can't even get his hair right. How much bleach blonde did he have to get that? But yeah, that was a tough. I mean, I thought the tactics were right. I wanted to clarify that comment I made about Munoz. Looking back at that, because he didn't get any help much. Because I mean, he had what Odogi and Warner on that side, and sometimes Sun floated over. But
yeah, it
I
was
think
crazy.
he was just too far up the pitch, though. I mean, a lot of those times he's running from behind. But any dig I can get at Trent Alexander-Arnold against Vinny Jr. I can't resist it. So, but anyway,
Yes.
for the summer, I think I'm hoping Anderson is not on the decline. But if he is, this would be the time to get rid of him, since apparently Newcastle is obsessed with him. So that definitely I'd be looking to him. I don't think we're selling Eze or Elise yet for one reason: injuries. I don't know what the release clause in either contract is, but I mean, if you're Manchester United, are you paying $70 million on talent? I mean, they would. That's how they got Anthony.
Yeah, United will do it regardless.
But common sense says, let this guy sit another year and see if he's actually going to do something. Hey, Tim. So I think we're going to have most of those players, but I think Anderson might want to go. I might have to go just because his defending. If Gahey's not next to him, it covers up a lot of his deficiencies. A lot of them.
No, absolutely. Tim, just quickly, can see is that work?
Yeah, this is work. This is downtown Denver. I only have a handful of minutes here because I never dial in from the office here, but I couldn't resist this one.
No problem.
You got to work from home, Tim. You got to work from home like I do.
I do a lot of the time, but not today.
Once you're done, you've got to make sure that all your work colleagues are Palace fans.
I've already been working on that. Look, Rich, you gotta give me. I've already got one guy here. I like him a lot, but I'm trying to keep him as far away from the seaweed as possible. And they get so much hype here in the States that it's an uphill battle, man. Yeah,
tell them to just pretend Chelsea fans, and maybe he'll just change his mind.
Yeah. Anyway,
I got that Madrid jersey for you, Tim. That'll help.
There you go.
Yeah. But go on, Tim. Talk to us before you have to
go. Disappointed. I wanted this to be. I thought in the first half there were some positives. I was liking that Richards looked more confident, and he was better in some spots. That was so stupid trying to play the offside trap against Son at the end of the game. That was a brain fart. That was terrible. That was shocking. That was bad. I mean, there's no question, because I thought he was decent up until that point, and I thought there were moments. I agree with you. There were moments where he was the best defender, and I hope he keeps his confidence, because I think he can be good. But the free kick, amazing. I think there are signs that we're going to continue with Glasner's strategy, and it's going to take a while for this to show up in it's not going to hit the way we want it to hit until the fitness levels are much, much better. But once they do hit there, I feel better about it. I mean, looking at it, I'd be curious. Maybe the next Tact Eagle, you'll show it again. But it did seem like the average position, particularly on the fullbacks, that was the difference. Efan Nkunku drives me absolutely nuts, and he was on the U.S. commentary. And I get that the way we set up and the way we played looked a lot like Roy Ball, like effectively. It was kind of, sort of, and you guys talked about it. So it was, in a way, but the average field position for those fullbacks was way different, like by miles. So even though I thought we didn't get it right on the players' part, I am at least encouraged. Like there was a trap that was ready to be sprung, and we didn't spring it at all, really.
Yeah.
But
You
I mean,
make
it
a
was
very good
there,
point,
right?
Yeah, because there was even moments in the first half, as much as Spurs had most of the ball, we had little moments where we could break, and we just were making the wrong pass or the wrong decision. Like I said,
Yeah,
Mateta's trying to outpace Van der Ven, doesn't happen. Eze's cutting back inside and losing the ball. Like there were moments,
There were.
It's just
Well,
we were
yeah,
just
you
lacking
can
quality.
you can see
Wharton
you can see it with the fullbacks as well. To be fair, like with what Tim said, you never see Wardy pressing the goalkeeper, for example, but Mourinho's done it 2 or 3 times in that game.
Right.
So granted, that left him way out of position, but at least he's
Yeah.
shown the heart and the desire to try and get the ball, try and do something.
Yeah.
That should
Yeah,
be
he
Mateta
did
doing
go
that,
full.
not the right back.
Yeah, he did go full Gallagher, though. I mean, he
You
was
know-
just pressing everybody at will.
Proper angry cardio man.
You know, they didn't have Wharton touch the ball too. It's almost like their plan was to completely forget the midfield and go long, which, you know, I mean, I was a little surprised by just that Big Sam idea of just booting that thing up there. But I mean, it worked a little
though.
bit. Yeah,
It
yeah.
did.
That's the funny thing. It really did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if we just had a proper rapid, like if we had a Brennan Johnson or a Timo Werner, we would be sitting there laughing.
Yeah, we do need a burner. We definitely need a burner in the summer. But that is that not, to what JC said before, is that not the argument that rotating at least in the wingbacks and next season? I mean, Teo can fly. If he's healthy, that kid can flat out. He can fly. He's one of the fastest in the entire squad, right, across all teams. So, yeah, we need a lot of pace. We need some pace.
Was Teo finally sent out on loan? I don't follow the academy, guys. I'm sorry. I just don't.
Yeah, so Teo has started every game but one for Molenbeek so far this season.
That's the Belgian team, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but Malcolm's only had one start, and he's only had 30 minutes of game time outside of his start, so he's not doing too well.
That's not good.
The academy have gone 3-1 up.
I guess that's another thing to talk about with Glasner.
And Matherin.
I mean, that's another good thing to talk about with Glasner. He's sort of trying to implement that Pep Guardiola thing where however the first team plays, the whole academy plays that way as well. So because how it used to be was the whole academy played nice attacking and you got to Roy and then it's just a complete a complete mess, really, isn't it? You've gone from learning nice attacking football to learn how to do a low block for 90 minutes. Whereas Glasner's come in now and said, look, we're going to play this way. The whole academy is going to play this way, and that'll mean that there'll be easier progression into the first team. And, already we're seeing people that we've never seen on the bench before. We've seen Plange, we've seen Rodney, we've seen Ume on the bench. Even though they may have not have gotten game time, they're still there. They're still in and around the first team squad, and that's going to be good experience for them just being on the bench.
Yeah.
Getting used to what a match day is like, for example.
Right. Well, going into next year, as long as we stay up, and the next 3 games in a row are the biggest ones of the year because we're playing teams around us. Do you still are going to stick with that 3 in the back, 2 midfield? Because with Decore coming back, somebody's eating the bench. They might not like it, and I can only think.
I reckon
Lerman's gone.
Yeah,
I tell you what will happen. They're not going to risk Decore at all until next season.
Yeah,
right.
They won't.
Exactly. Right.
But then next season, Lerma will be that rotation option.
He can play center back too, because I know how cheap. We all know how cheap this team is. So
but I reckon we'll buy another centre back though, like a proper, like a Pershers or something like that.
Oh, can we make it Ronnie Edwards instead?
I would like a Edwards. He'll be a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
A lot cheaper.
Yeah. I gotta run in a couple minutes here, guys, and I got this. Yeah, let me copy that. So a couple things on the summer, because we should have accounts coming out soon, and I'm going to dig into those so we'll talk about those when they come out. But honestly, I think the next set of accounts will be pretty decent. I mean, they should be all right. We should have plenty of room under PSR. Um, Depending upon where we end in the table, prize money should be fine. It's about 3.1 million pounds per place, I think is the last I saw. We have been getting. I mean, I know I imagine it's annoying the way the fixtures have been moved around a lot, but hey, Monty. So I'm thinking we probably got a decent amount of TV revenue. So I think the turnover will probably be pretty good. The cash flow the prior season was pretty good. So I think we're fine going into the summer. And I think we've got to recruit more for depth. And I expect us to do that. I would rather see us pursue I think the wrong thing to do would be to go for strategy of big sales, because you're not going to get all that money up front. What I'd really rather is a set of maybe small sales, and I would honestly be open to like selling Eddie, maybe selling a few kids who are not going to promote on in the academy, load them up with sell-on fees, load them up with add-ons. The thing we got to build that we haven't built yet is it's not about getting a chunk of money in right now. It ought to be about getting a flywheel of cash that's coming in every year. That's what you want to start building. Even if it's only like 10 to 15 million next season, but then the next season after that, you get to 20 million. Next season after that, you get to 25 million, 30 million. That's where you want to be. You always want to be getting paid. The good teams, the ones that are actually building a strategy, because look, there's no way we're going to be able to do. I mean, Brighton will tell you they're brilliant. No, they're not. You know what they found? They found a sucker. His name is Todd Bowley. That's what they found. That's what they found. They found a sucker.
Yeah, we need to find the orange sugar daddy.
I mean, but you know what that is? Like, they're not going to say it. They're going to say they're brilliant, but they're lucky. They're lucky that they found a sucker, and we're not going to find that.
Yeah, what I think what Tim's saying is that we really want that Chelsea model that they used to have with their academy, how every year they'd get a sale of some sort, like they'd get a Loftus-Cheek sale, they'd get a Reece Nelson sale, they get a sale of some sort every year.
Yes. And not only
it may not be an A-lister, but it's still a sale.
Right.
It's sustainable.
And you want to, it's not just that. You want a sale that pays you twice. So we have two out there right now. We have Finn Mooney, and we don't know whatever add-ons or sell-on clause there was to him. He was never really going anywhere in the academy. He was sold for I think £500,000. And then we have Jake O'Brien, who we know we have a 15% sell-on fee for. And you know what? I mean, look, it doesn't feel like a lot, but let me give you a scenario. He gets sold out of Lyon for £15 million. That's £2.5 million. That is half the annual budget of the academy. That does buy, and reinvesting in youth players is something we can do. It's that stuff. If we start getting that stuff right, it's going to be better and more sustainable. I feel like, I'm at work, so this is why I have to talk a lot of finance stuff. So now and I was going to talk football, and then I got all caught up in the finance stuff. But anyway, I mean, disappointing, but you know how it is. Let's go get Luton. Up the Palace, guys.
See you, Tim.
Mind you, we can start off by not having a £20 million goalkeeper on the bench, shouldn't we? In Henderson.
Good point.
That's a $10 million loss.
Yeah, massively.
At least.
5-0, by the way. Declan Rice now.
Oh, boy.
I wouldn't
Wait,
say
what's the time?
It's only
the first half.
All these Arsenal players have scored in goals. I got Sacco on my fantasy team, and he only got credited for an assist. It's like
yeah, that's stress.
all these guys are getting goals, and he's getting triple teamed and getting one assist.
Yeah,
Mad.
guys, I've got to
Patrick,
bounce as well. In a bit.
that's not a problem, Jesse. In a bit. Patrick, we'll have the last word. Leave the last word with you anyway.